In most businesses, the IT department is not a profit generating department. If anything, the IT department can clash with departments that actually generate a profit, such as sales teams, marketing teams, and even business analysts. And so, from the perspective of business leaders, the IT department and in turn cybersecurity teams represent a sinkhole cost that reduces efficiency. This picture is of a business guy, not an IT guy. In fact, let's draw the IT guy. Of course, playing into the stereotype, but wait till the end of the video when this ugly duckling turns into a beautiful swan. Through the use of the business requirements. Oh yeah. In fact, the CCSP exam tries to encourage the IT or cyber professional to work alongside the business and to become a more astute cybersecurity professional by understanding how business requirements can impact cybersecurity, and in turn, how cybersecurity can help the business strive and become more efficient. An idealistic marriage, if you like. But ultimately, in reality, we know the more secure something is, the less efficient it will be. So, what is a solution to this problem? And how can the IT and cyber departments help the business generate more profit rather than lowering profits? Well, the answer is simple according to the CCSP exam. Money makes the world go round, and in turn, the business, and therefore the business needs must drive security decisions and not the other way round, especially if the IT guy wants to have his paycheck at the end of the month. For this reason, a successful business will gather as much information about operational business requirements as possible. Importantly, these can actually include those in the security realm. Think BCP, business continuity planning, and DRP, disaster recovery planning, risk management, and data categorization, all covered in separate videos on the channel. I will link to one of those videos in this video right now. So, it is important for the IT guy and the cyber team to actually be part of the business requirements. So, let's place the IT guy on the table with the business people. As we go through the video from this point onwards, you will see how the IT guy transforms into a beautiful business person, while still staying loyal to the IT and cyber security role. This strategic placement of the IT guy on the business table actually solves the problem because, as said, an IT cyber professional who is business aware would solve the disconnect between business efficiency versus cyber security. I mean, just consider some of these examples, where that little bit of extra knowledge about the business and operations can turn any IT and cybersecurity professional into a star. Picture the star as we go through the video, which is currently the IT guy sitting at the end of the table. You can't see it yet, but play along as we go through the video. Now, let's get a little bit more technical with some real life scenarios. There are functional requirements and non functional requirements, which in a business context means two things. Let's imagine we have company mobile phones, and functional requirements would be those aspects that make this device work to perform the business task to be accomplished. Whereas anything else not necessary for accomplishing the task but are desired or expected are not functional requirements but are non functional requirements. Ironically, these non functional requirements may be security settings in order to make the device secure, but making the device secure is not always equal to accomplishing the business task. Moving on to the next item on the meeting agenda, whether to distribute resources between the cloud and on premise computing environments. And this decision must not be taken lightly, and business requirements must be supported during the transition and after. In order to make such a big decision, everybody needs to work together, especially the IT guy working with the business. This is where the transition phase of the IT guy to a business guy is becoming apparent. You see, the first important step of any migration is to understand the current existing state. That is a true evaluation and understanding of business processes, assets, and requirements. However, in many businesses, this information is not always documented or available, and therefore some initial fieldwork must be undertaken to gather such vital information required to understand the existing state. And that is even before we consider any security controls. Such fieldwork can be conducted in multiple different ways, from interviewing personnel to observing employees on the jobs, or being a little more technical by collecting or inventorying various processes, logs, and files. Remember, the ultimate goal of this stage is to gather as much information as possible and put all this information into a central repository such as a CMDB. And once all this information has been gathered, the next stage is to do a detailed analysis of all of this information, which is known as a Business Impact Analysis, BIA. A BIA is an assessment of the priorities given to each identified asset or process within the business during the last stage we just discussed, and to consider the effect, if any, or the impact of any harm or loss on any of those assets in relation to the business overall. Important CCSP exam tip: assets can be tangible, aka something you touch, or can be intangible, something you can't touch. Also, special care should always be taken during a BIA to identify critical paths and any single points of failure, and also any fines for non-compliance to any laws or contract agreements. After all this, and once the team have a clear picture of what the business does in terms of lines of business and processes, they can get a better understanding of what benefits the business might receive from a cloud migration, as well as the costs associated with such move. At this stage, a cost benefit analysis will help the business understand this trade off in clear financial terms for everybody on the table, including the IT guy. But in general terms, the greatest driver pushing most organizations towards cloud migrations at the moment is perceived cost savings. And this alone can be a great driver. I mean, just look at all the reductions in expenditure and costs that can be saved by migrating to the cloud. Of course, it is always still important to consider the technical considerations. But for the purposes of this video, the business requirements have now been met. What's more, the IT cybersecurity guy is now a star, a business star with a cyber and business mindset, and also had a substantial pay rise. Oh yeah! Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you would like to see more content like this, it would be super fantastic if you could leave a like and subscribe to help support this channel's growth.